What's goody, what's goody, what's goody, y'all? This is Debbie Cates coming at you live and in color, as you can see. See, as you can see, I got my little blonde wig, got my makeup on, got my little mole and my lips. So, can you guess what today's shirt day is? If you guessed correctly, if you're really observant, this is Chucky. Bride of Chucky, Tiffany, all that. Favorite movie actually is The Bride of Chucky, so I had to go ahead and have the blonde wig. So I know I was MIA for a couple of days, but I have the shirts that I wore these days. So on Tuesday, so that way you can see it, I wore this shirt. As you can see, if I'm not mistaken, it is actually from Child's Play 2. And look at the back. Awesome, isn't it? Let's see. Can you see it? Yes, you can. All right. Now, I know I got to lean back so you can see because I don't want you seeing my shirt yet. Now, this is the outfit I had on yesterday. These are my pants. It's hot. This is my shirt. I think this is so freaking awesome. Chucky has Chucky's head. This is so cute. Now, as you know, Bride of Chucky is my favorite movie from the franchise. So, I'll show you what today's shirt of the day is. Ta-da! The Bride of Chucky. Chucky and Tiffany. See? Makeup. I just didn't put any contacts or zoom my lashes. Perhaps this week that's coming up, I might put this wig back on. It is hot. I don't like wearing wigs. But if I'm not camera ready, this is what you're going to see. LOL. Yeah. I don't care what other people think. But yet, I'm not about to sit there and embarrass my damn self if my hair is not ready. So I probably told you guys. I'm not. I can't remember if I wore a Chucky Up Child's Play shirt earlier in the month because, like I said, I have a few horror shirts and I try to wear a different one every day for this month. So I have not. Don't recall if I have, but so part one, the original. So the Brad Dourif is the one that voices Chucky, and he's actually came out in part one for a couple of minutes because he's the Lakeshore Strangler. So he was gunned down at a toy store, and he put his soul inside of the Chucky doll, and then throughout the whole film, right? There's this kid named Andy. Throughout the whole film, he kept begging his moms, "Oh, can you get me? I want a Chucky doll. I want a Chucky doll." So the mom was like, she didn't have a lot of money, but there was a peddler in the alley that was selling it, so she got it for cheap. And then she ended up giving it to him. But that doll, specifically that doll, is the one that had Charles Lee Ray soul in it. So he ended up getting he ended up killing the babysitter. He said that he was gonna get revenge on Eddie Caputo and then the cop that gunned him down. He ended up killing Eddie Caputo by exploding his rundown rat infested house where he was staying at. He killed the shaman doctor that actually showed him how to transfer his soul into another body or another host after he told him how to get him out of that body. He killed the doctor that took Andy into the mental institution for the kids. Like took the kid away because he thought that the child needed help and they took him away from his mom. So um, he killed that doctor. He tried to kill the cop. Cop got away. He bit the mom. That's how the mom ended up realizing that he was real. And let's see, any more kills? I'm trying to run through that one. Um, Toward the end, both cops, the mom, they all decided they're gonna believe him. But come part two, which is actually besides the Bride of Chucky part two, I love part two also because part two in that one, Chucky is relentless. Like he refuses to die. Like he just keeps coming back, coming back, coming back. And in that one, Andy gets fostered because his mom is in a mental institution because the two cops from part one denied everything, I guess, so that way they could keep their jobs and they won't look like they're crazy and all that kind of stuff. And so basically, the mom is the only one that was considered crazy, and Andy was taken from her and he was put into foster care and in a foster home. And then this couple was the one who adopted him, and but they also have another girl that she's almost 18 that got adopted as well, Kyle. When let's see, he killed he killed the father, well, the adopted father. He killed the teacher with a ruler, nevertheless. He killed the adopted mother. He killed the lady from the adoption agency. He In the beginning he had killed one of the toy makers because he caught electricity or something and ended up getting burnt to a crisp. I forgot about that one. Let's see. He killed one of the factory guys in the end when they was trying to go in through this machine that was putting the eyes into the dolls. They tried to basically they chopped his hand off. They try to put him back into the doll making system so that way they could basically melt him down. They put different types of body parts on him. He got out of that. They put this they cut his half of his body down. He was dragging himself. They put this air pipe into his mouth, and that blew him up, and that exploded. That's how he ended up finally dying. Um, that's part two. I'm only skimming through the ones so that way we could get this video going. In part three, well, a lot of people don't really like it, but because the thing is, they wanted to make it as seem as a few years past, but um, Vincent is the one that plays Andy Barkley. Vincent, he still was pretty young, so it's not believable that a few years passed. So they had to recast that Andy character. They recast him to somebody a little bit older, just so that way they can put him in the military and everything like that. There was a kid named Tyler in that military, and that also in the military, and Chucky tried to basically take his soul, basically, and try to kill off Andy, but they basically fight. They ended up fighting. Chucky went and he killed the barber. He killed in the um in the first the second episode. The second movie, there was in the beginning there was this the toy makers, the basically the owner of the whole thing. Um, he didn't like the fact that there's a lot of controversy through that. He was like, you know what, just stick it up your ass. That I forgot about that kill. One of the guys that was trying to present Chucky and all that to him, um, he ended up getting strangled. Go figure. So that guy that got the doll presented to him, wanted to take wanted to bring it back out online, and ended up getting killed by Chucky. And then Chucky went and looked through the files and everything to find out where Andy Barkley was. That's how they found out that he was in the military. Um, and that's how he found the barber. He killed the barber. Uh, he he was gonna kill the Colonel Cochran. He was gonna kill him, but when the colonel saw him, he was so shocked that he ended up having a heart attack. Um, what else? He went as far as to put real bullets in one side on the red team side and left paint in the blue team side because they were doing paintball and simulations of they were doing simulation of if they were going to go out to base camps and all that kind of stuff, or basically go to war, that they was going to go ahead and use those spots to go ahead and shoot the other team. They were supposed to be just a paintball fight, and they ended up um, the red team ended up shooting Lieutenant Colonel Shelton Sir. They ended up shooting him with live bullets, and he ended up dying. So they blamed it all on Andy, and they was fighting in a pile. And Winehurst, no, and then Chucky went and threw a grenade, and they was all busy fighting that nobody noticed it except for Winehurst. Winehurst, he ended up putting his body on the line, ended up, but he was one of those like nerdy guys that knew that he wasn't gonna make it to the ending of the movie. That's how you already knew he wasn't gonna make it. So he ended up putting his body on the line, exploded, and that's when everybody stopped and started crying. Then Chucky ended up trying to escape with Tyler, and then and then Andy and De Silva, this girl that he met in camp, in the military, they ended up going after Tyler and Chucky. Chucky ended up shooting De Silva on her leg. She survived, and so she was left there. Andy went after Tyler, and also Chucky went after Tyler. Uh, Tyler was about to fall off the little mountain thing from this amusement, because it was an amusement park. So there was a ride this horror ride. He was gonna fall off of it, but Andy ended up grabbing him. So there was this knife that Andy gave. Oh, and then Chucky ended up going behind Andy, trying to see if he could knock him, and Tyler could slip or whatever the case may be. But what Tyler ended up doing was giving back Andy the knife that Andy had gave Tyler in the beginning. So what he did was he ended up cutting Chucky's hand, and after that, Chucky ended up falling into this industrial fan. That was like one of the best kills for Chucky in the franchise. A lot of people talk about it like his face was sliced from this the Reapers. I don't know what's it called. If anybody can correct it, I'll be so happy. His little sword axe. Um, he got his half of his face sliced. It's like he got torn apart by that industrial fan, but he was like literally like that was another one that I liked, another kill. So on to four, my favorite one, The Bride of Chucky. Um, Tiffany Valentine, which is played by Jennifer Tilly, she ended up finding all the pieces. Well, actually, she had a cop, Detective Bailey. She had a cop go to the evidence locker and take out all the chopped up pieces of Chucky, put in a bag, and drive it to a remote parking lot. He was like, "Oh, where's my money?" All that kind of stuff. "Oh, you get what you deserve." So she ended up cutting his neck, and then killing him. He took, she took the bag, opened it up, and made sure it was him. Of course, well, hello, Dolly. I like when she says that. She has such a cute little voice. It's at first when I really didn't um care too much for Jennifer Tilly because I really didn't follow her movies or anything like that, or it was just starting. It was annoying to me, but after a while, like I love Jennifer Tilly. I really like her as an actress. She's really good. She works with what she got and she makes the best of it. And that is awesome. So I haven't seen Bound. I've heard about it an abundance of times, but I have not seen it. But anyways, getting back to The Bride of Chucky. So that was the first kill. The the Officer Bailey. She ended up taking his lighter and all that. That was engraved to his name. There was a couple um that was gonna basically get turned. That's what the couple that they was gonna get their bodies transferred in. I'm not gonna go in through the whole details and everything. David and Patricia Arquette's brother, sister. No, when she passed, she had guess she did the full transition. So, I believe she she was in that one, but that was when she had played a male role. So it doesn't really. I could say that I still gotta say she out of respect because she is passed. She did pass away, but Chucky ended up killing him. And when Tiffany found out that the night he was gunned down and had a ring, and she kept it this whole time thinking that they was gonna get married, it was because he had made a kill, and he had stole that ring, and he was like, oh, it's worth millions. That's the only reason why he still had it. So she was like, you're not gonna, wasn't so you wasn't supposed to, you're not gonna propose to me. He was like, what are you fucking nuts? And he started laughing at her. So she felt embarrassed. So she was like, word, this is how you're gonna do me and treat me. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock you in this cage, and I'll take you out or I'll play with you and all that kind of stuff whenever I decide to, pretty much, because you're just like a little baby. So that's exactly what she did. And then she was like, you know what? I think it's time for I changed my mind. I think it's time for you to get married. And she was like, he was all Tiffany, babe, like he was all happy, thinking that everything was gonna unfold. And she ended up putting in a doll inside with him, and it said, "With this ring, I do wed." She had the whole bride look, and he was pissed. So he ended up taking the ring that the doll had over her neck and started scraping the bars because the bars was made of wood. How smart that was, nobody knows. So after he broke free, he ended up electrocuting Tiffany, the human, and then he did his Awe Dewey Dembala shit, the saying, and transferred her body into the bride doll. And he was like, this is what you wanted, right? Now it's time for you um, to love, honor, and obey, and all that kind of stuff like that. And when she found out that there was basically no escape, but she was like, she doesn't want to get stuck like that. He was like that they needed the heart of Dambala, which was buried with Charles Lee Ray's body the night he was gunned down. So they needed somebody to take them over there. So Tiffany's neighbor from the trailer park where she was at, she paid him money, but while he was getting himself together and everything like that, she ended up paying him money. I mean, while he was getting himself together to go take that trip, she ended up changing her whole appearance. Hence the blonde wig and the roots. Because if you see the movie, she had a little bit of a dark roots. She had her little dark makeup on and everything like that. Her little mole she had put on her lip, above her lip, the black lipstick. Eh, I just don't like it too dark unless I'm cosplaying fully. I don't really go all out. But yeah, that's what she ended up doing. And there she goes, that line. Barbie, eat your heart out. And that shit was so cute. Um, so as you know, I'm pretty sure more or less you guys have an idea of what will be my costume for Halloween on Thursday next week. I already have the outfit and up and everything. I already have everything set. I just actually need to wear it. I know, fun, yay me! But yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen. And so they found the couple because that's where the neighbor goes and he takes the dolls and he goes to the girl's house that he wanted to be with because her uncle's not letting them be together. He was like, oh, until you're 18, when you're 18 you go to hell for all I care, but until then you're still my problem. I'm like, wow. Like, at least I'm not the only person in this world that their parents speak to them that way. That's crazy. But anyways, um so he picks her up, they go to the chapel, get married, all that kind of stuff like that. So that becomes the couple that they want to switch their bodies into. That's pretty much what it is. So throughout the whole movie, they're running like fugitives because people keep dying around them, or they're in the same room when they're getting killed. So at the end, they um they killed Tiffany supposedly. They killed Chucky supposedly, but in the ending credit, all you hear is Tiffany screaming. She's fucking pregnant. Like, really, they went there. And she gives birth to Chucky's baby. Really, they went there. That's the only thing that was crazy throughout that. Like, literally crazy. Like, that whole movie was really good, but that's what a lot of people was like, wow, they went there. It's like, besides the whole sex scene, they went there and had a kid. Hence, part five, the seed of Chucky. Honestly, that's the worst one of the bunch. It starts off with sperm, literally swimming all over the place. I'm like, that's disgusting. Throughout the whole movie, like, yeah, they have a kid, but they're still doing their killing and everything. I honestly don't want to go through this movie. I really don't, but I have to. They they're still. This was okay. So in this one, they had a kid already. He's already developed, and he's working in a circus. No, like a ventriloquist, and they call him Shitface, Psych and Shitface. So he escapes from there once he sees that his parents are in Hollywood, so he makes his way down that way. So, lo and behold, the person that's playing uh, Tiffany Valentine in the Chucky movies in the movie because it's a movie within a movie. So the actress that's doing it is Jennifer Tilly. So she's playing two roles at the same time. She's playing the doll and she's also playing the human. And the doll, she's Tiffany Valentine. The human is Jennifer Tilly. Yeah, I think he's in love with Jennifer Tilly, honestly, or he just likes working with her because she can do a lot of roles at the same time and not get confused. Um, so they do this whole voodoo pregnancy thing. They stuff her with a turkey base. I'm not going there, all that kind of stuff. The next day, advanced pregnancy, she was pregnant. They ended up giving birth to twins, and then they said, "Oh, you can go ahead and pick whoever you want to pick," all that kind of stuff. He was like, he ended up, I guess they ended up putting him inside the boy. But that's where everything gets lost because in this one is a boy and a girl, right? But in the series, they're both girls, but one is more, it's they them. Like they do not, they are both. They don't identify as he or she. It's they them, and out of respect, they them. I always told you, I don't discriminate anybody. I don't care who you are. You don't impact my life, so why should I hate on you? Again, they them as a respect. So they um ended up splitting into two kids, the boy and the girl. One has the evil side, one has the good side. I guess qualities. And yeah, and then Tiffany ended up going inside of Jennifer Tilly's body. All right, so let's see. Part 6 is The Curse of Chucky. Great movie. Honestly, it's like he went back to the basics, back to horror. With all this comedy shit was cut down. And I appreciate it. Why? Because I don't want a comedy horror. That's why we have Art the Clown. I want actual, I'm scared of a fucking killer doll. And that's exactly what we got for that Curse of Chucky. You know, they was taken in one setting. They was in a house. One girl, Nika, she's in a wheelchair. Nika's actually played by Brad Dorff's daughter, Fiona Dorff. She does excelente in any role she played when it came to those movies. She plays her father's character to the fucking T. Like if you have basically a younger version of Brad Dorff, that's his daughter. Older version of his daughter is Brad Dorff. Like they, like the way they have this chemistry together is fucking awesome. I love it. So it's a whole family in the house. There's the sister, the sister's husband, the sister's so her niece also. There's the mother, but the mother passed away. The father, meaning the father, came to visit the house with them and everything like that to do a prayer and everything to convince Nika to help sell this house so that way, I guess, because they the thing is they are greedy for money, so they actually want the money. There's also the babysitter. The babysitter to this whole time you would think that she's having an affair with the husband and all that kind of stuff. Nah, turns out she's having an affair with the wife. And the husband knew about it, he just needed evidence. So he planted a camera inside of Chucky's overalls, and that's when he started seeing that Chucky, he was doing all these killings. Like he poisoned the food, and the father ended up dying on the road, and his head got decapitated. Um, he threw water on the ground while there was an electric plug on the floor. The babysitter got fried. He ended up stabbing the wife in the eye. Her eye went flying, and she's dead. Um, when he found out, he ended up getting basically his face axed up, chopped up. Because at first he thought it was Nika that was doing everything, but bro, she's in a fucking wheelchair. How the hell is she doing all that? Unless she actually can walk, but she can't. And the only reason why she can't is because back before the whole running from the law in part 1, he had he had held hostage Nika's mom while Nika was in her stomach and she was pregnant. And she ended up stabbing her in her stomach, causing Nika to be paralyzed since she was born. So her legs do not work at all. Never have to walk, nothing, nothing, nothing. And so that's how she found out. That's the reason why she's in a wheelchair. Because the thing is, he was in love with the mom, and he ended up killing the father and kidnapping the mother. And he tried to build a whole family with them, but the moms was like, nah. When the cops came and was at their door, he ended up running out, and that's how part 1 ended up happening. And then moving forward, and that's how she found out that that's the reason why she can't walk, because he did that to her. And yeah, she got blamed for all the killings in the house because when the cops came in, she had the bloody knife in her hand, even though her eyes is not working. So at the end, during evidence, he's just sitting there, and she's getting rolled off, and she goes and says, "Ha, you couldn't get me, all this and that." Then one of the ending scenes, he ends up taking his half of his soul and putting it into Nika's niece, Alice. And he ended up also strangling the grandma. So he ended up taking the niece. Come to part 7, the cult of Chucky. I know I'm going down is because it's just like there's so much, and this franchise is so big, and it's just like I can't do that much justice to this franchise as much as I can. They have series which I overheard, which I understand in some part, but then I'm pissed off in another that they canceled to bring in for another season 4. I heard. I mean, season 3 honestly wasn't my favorite out of all of them, so I understand why. But give it. Why didn't you couldn't just give it one more chance? Like that was like, oh no, the ratings went down for this one, so we're just not gonna go ahead and renew it. But I'm like, you're not giving it a chance. Let this one go down. Let him come back with full force, unless there's really nothing else he can do or to write, or he can't think about anything else. Then it's understandable, or if not, give it a few a few episodes, and cut it off. If you see that the ratings and everything's still going down, but until then, it's like you should have gave it a chance. Um, so in 7, when they're in, this is the setting of the mental institution. Nika's in there with a few other people, basically another body count. Um, there's multiple Chuckies. There's this professor, this doctor that basically hypnotizes Nika, and basically he tries to get her to admit that she killed those people even though she didn't. And even Chucky was like, damn, I'm sick and everything, but damn, this doctor is very sick. Like he literally was like trying to kiss Nika, really trying to hypnotize her so that way it looks like she's a little nuts or seeing things. So if he's taking advantage of her, he can't really she doesn't have any proof. It's like it's all in her head, or she won't be able to remember one of the two. But yeah, Andy comes back in this one. And Andy came back as an ending credit in part 6 of Curse. And they showed a picture of his mom because he was talking to his mom on the phone. And then this one, he came back. He was trying to date. This girl looked at him like he was crazy. But she knew what she was getting into because, come on now, he's all over the fucking news. Everybody knows who the fuck Andy Barkley is. Like, you just wanted your 15 minutes of fame, bitch. If you didn't want nothing to do with him, you shouldn't have wasted your time because you already knew what you was getting into. Okay? Okay, let's talk about that. But anyways, yeah, like I said, she goes, he goes and comes out in this one, and he has one of, if not the original head of Chucky, because I'm not sure which doll has what, because apparently he has multiple dolls that's already alive and has shards of his soul in them. And in this one, I believe there was 3. And honestly, it's like besides the kills, this movie's all over the place. It was like you could tell that he was just like, you know what, I really don't have much for this one, but there is a series, and I just want to incorporate these things, these ideas into the series. So Chucky ends up taking his soul and splitting it into Nika's. So, like I said, Fiona Dorff does a great acting of her father. So she goes and gets her body gets starts acting up. She starts walking and everything what Charles does, but Fiona, I mean, Nika cannot do. So that's another way you know who's who, because Nika can't walk, but Chucky can. So that's exactly what it is. I'm sorry, I just lost focus. I'm trying to finish this really fast because I have other things, and I know in a little bit somebody's gonna walk in and interrupt me, and I don't want that. I want to actually run through this video. It's already 35 minutes in, which is something I haven't done at all. But I'm trying to hurry up for you guys. I do apologize. I'm taking a little too long, but I just wanted to run down the movies. Yeah. So Chucky and Tiffany ended up leaving together, and that's going on with the series. Andy got stuck into the asylum. He got stuck there. Don't know how he got out, but he got stuck there. And then it goes to the series. I'm not going into details of the series. We're not doing that in this one. I just wanted to run down the movies so that way you get a know-how of the movies. And yeah, this has been Debbie Cakes. I am so sorry for this long ass video. You guys have a blessed day. Have a great day. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.